Did you guys know that many people close to Rudy Giuliani came out and said that he was trying to sell presidential pardons for $2 million each near the end of Trump's first term, with the profits allegedly to be split between himself and Donald Trump? Now, this is a staggering abuse of power, and after reading this article, I do want to take a more nuanced position on President Biden's recent pardon of his son, Hunter Biden. I made a breaking news video last night where I talked about it broadly, but I'd like to talk about the implications going forward and even some of the past abuses of this same presidential pardon, because almost every single person who has held that office abused it in some way. Maybe Obama didn't as much, but Trump absolutely did. Now we can say that Biden did, even if it's justifiable. So let's break this down and take a nuanced position. Make sure you drop a like, make sure you subscribe so we can build up this pro-democracy community. Even if you disagree with one or two things I say in this video, right now is the time for community and coalition building. So first of all, this article reads, Rudy Giuliani was accused of offering to sell Trump pardons for $2 million each in a new lawsuit. The suit includes allegations of sexual assault and harassment, as well as wage theft and discussions of plans to overturn the 2020 election. I mean, sexual assault and harassment is now just like a prerequisite to be a part of the Trump administration. But the reason this pisses me off in particular is because all of these MAGA pundits were coming out and saying the Biden crime family, like Charlie Kirk in this post said, it's all been a lie. It's all been a scam, and the American people were taken for suckers. I mean, dude, President Biden probably shouldn't have said that he wasn't going to pardon Biden a few months back and flipped on that. But if you want to talk about lying, Donald Trump has made up widespread lies about election fraud. He's made up lies about his closest allies, lies about his wealth, about his family, about everything. And all of his closest allies are corrupt to the core. I mean, Rudy Giuliani is selling off pardons left and right, but Charlie Kirk wants to act like somehow Joe Biden is corrupt. So let me just say, it's crucial to acknowledge that no action by President Biden can compare to the years of norm-shattering destruction caused by Donald Trump. I mean, Donald Trump has, in one day, done more damage than President Biden could do in a whole presidency. But I will say, in a different reality, if Trump didn't exist, I do think Biden's pardon would be far less acceptable. If there was a reality without Trump, and Biden still did this, and he was the one to break the first norm, then that would not be acceptable. The optics would be bad, and the optics on this already are kind of shaky, because think about it. When Donald Trump gets back into office, he will use this pardon to endlessly justify things that he was already going to do. He was already going to pardon the January 6 hostages, and now he is going to spin this to the general public. I told you guys I wanted to take a more nuanced position on this pardoning, and while I know that 90% of you agree with the pardon, I do too, I think we have to talk about the downsides too, and the downsides are that Republicans will spin this so hard, but conveniently ignore the fact that Donald Trump pardoned Steve Bannon, then worked with him again. He pardoned Roger Stone, Paul Manafort, Papadopoulos. This dude pardoned half of his cabinet for being blatantly corrupt, and now Republicans want to claim the Democrats are the ones who are breaking and shattering norms. You know, this tweet explains it really well, and this is going to be a little bit abrasive, but just stick with me because I think this is a good explanation. It says, upholding norms is like engaging in consensual sex. If both people do it, it's good. But if only one person is doing it, it's basically tantamount to rape. So if only one side is upholding these norms, then there's no point. There's no such thing as consensual sex with only one person consenting, much like there is no such thing as upholding norms if only one side does it. So the only time a maggot ever considers morality is when he's analyzing Democrats' behavior, and then he turns completely blind whenever Republicans do anything. So then he says, a more serious, sober take on the Hunter Biden pardon. Norms exist because if both sides play by them, they guarantee some minimum level of decorum or behavior that allows both sides to function on a more sophisticated level, allowing for more opportunity and better outcomes for everyone involved. For example, if everyone on the block agrees not to steal from each other, people can leave their houses during the day and go do more productive work rather than sitting at home guarding their possessions all night. Now, Trump already pardoned people convicted of literally the exact same thing that Hunter Biden was convicted of. Trump pardoned people close to him due to family relations like Charles Kushner, which we will get to, and at his absolute worst, Trump pardoned people who lied in order to cover up his crimes. People who were literally convicted for obstructing investigations to cover for Trump, like Roger Stone, which we will get to. Now, some people are claiming Republicans are going to do whatever they want, but they were doing that before, and that's different from what I just claimed. Republicans are now going to use this as a justification, but they were going to do this anyways. Donald Trump was going to pardon the J6ers anyways. Republicans are amoral. Do not ever play into their framework of trying to argue for some return to normalcy or argue about abuse of presidential power. It is a joke to them. They don't believe it. And the one that I really like, the line that I really appreciate, is that norms exist because both sides need to play by them. If one side is not playing by the norms, then the rules don't exist anymore. I mean, norms exist to guarantee some level of decorum or behavior that allows us all to function, and this tweet even gives a really good example. And what I find hilarious, I want to read a few excerpts from these articles. So this first one is from 2021, when Trump was leaving office. He pardoned a rapper named Kodak Black, and this pardon was for the exact same crime that Hunter Biden committed. Let me repeat that. Donald Trump pardoned Kodak Black for basically the exact same crime that Hunter Biden committed. Let me read this. Kodak Black, whose legal name is Bill Capri, was sentenced to 46 months in prison on federal weapons charges in 2019 after admitting that he falsified information on federal forums to buy 4 firearms. The rapper obtained 3 guns, a 9mm handgun, a semi-automatic mini Draco weapon, and then another handgun, and he still received a pardon from Donald Trump. This is way worse than what Hunter Biden did. Hunter Biden was like smoking weed at the time. And meanwhile, Donald Trump is pardoning career criminals. Kodak Black, the reason why he got 46 months is because this was not his first offense. And listen, I love Kodak Black's music. I love his music a lot, but all I'm saying is that Republicans hold Donald Trump and Hunter Biden to complete different standards. We can go to this article. Kushner pardon revives loathsome tale of tax evasion, sex. Jared Kushner's father, Charles Kushner, was pardoned by Donald Trump for multiple heinous acts. And the craziest part is, Charles Kushner will still be working with the second Trump administration. So let me just say that again. Donald Trump pardoned Charles Kushner because he's the father of his son-in-law, and then gave Charles Kushner a position, a cozy position in his second admin. Former New Jersey Governor Chris Christie called it one of the most loathsome, disgusting crimes he ever prosecuted as a U.S. attorney, and Donald Trump just pardoned him. Well, not just pardoned him. Pardoned him a few years back. My bad. After Charles Kushner discovered his brother-in-law was cooperating with federal authorities, the wealthy real estate executive and the father of President Donald Trump's son-in-law hatched a scheme for revenge and intimidation. Kushner hired a prostitute to lure his then brother-in-law, then arranged to have the encounter in a New Jersey motel room recorded with a hidden camera and sent to his own sister to blackmail them. I mean, dude, this is absolutely unhinged, absurd stuff, but we can even move on from that abusive pardon and see this. Trump commutes sentence of Roger Stone in case he long denounced. The president's friend, longtime friend, had been convicted of impeding a congressional inquiry that threatened Donald Trump. So, Congress was investigating Donald Trump. Congress is supposed to act as a check on our presidents, and Donald Trump had his friend, Roger Stone, obstruct that, go to jail, and then pardon him. Trump also wants to pardon the J6 hostages, as he calls them. So Trump is the one who not only abuses pardons, but does it specifically to show other right-wingers in America that they can basically get away with whatever they want. Think about it. If all of the January 6ers go free, that creates the permission structure for other conservatives to commit crimes on behalf of Trump and then be promised a pardon. So just to loop it all back, it is incredibly clear that Republicans are clutching their pearls to be performative and not because they actually care about any norms. We know that for a fact, but I just had to make a video about this. I'll leave it at that. Drop a like, subscribe. Love all you guys. I'll see you in the next video, and peace out.